Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back in the kitchen with another college type video. So this one is going to be about project survival. This is how I dealt with having multiple projects at the same time, as well as how I dealt with group projects. My program specifically, which was television broadcasting, had mostly group projects and a lot of projects going on at the same time because they were fairly large and would take up most of the semester. So this is just how I dealt with it. Other people have their ways, but if this helps you figure out a way that works for you, then great. That's exactly what we want. That's what I want you to take out of this video. So the first thing is, what do you do as soon as you get your schedule? Like as soon as you see what projects you have. And the first thing I would do is I would take a whiteboard, draw out the calendar, and write down when everything is due. That includes adding a note of stuff that's due early on in the next month so that you don't get surprised by it randomly. The next thing I would do is I would take a planner, which is like a bullet journal. It is a bullet journal. I take a bullet journal, which is like a planner, and draw out weekly spreads, or what they're called. If you look up bullet journals on YouTube, you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. I keep my bullet journal pretty simple. I'll put clips of it sprinkled in here. And what I would do is for each week, I'd write out what's due that week, as well as make a note of what's due next week. And for each day of the week, I would try and plan out at least one thing that I would do for each project. That all depends on how busy your day is, but if you have a day off, take advantage of it. I struggled with this a lot, like most of my time through college, and the best thing to do is just plan it out and do it. Just tell yourself that you have to. No excuses. Don't make excuses. So yeah, that's kind of how I dealt with it. A good way to schedule out your time is just don't overexert yourself. Don't say this whole day I'm gonna work on this whole project and get so much of it done. No, plan out like hours at a time. Like 1 hour I'll work on this, like this specific part of this project. That helps a lot. As for group projects, also, of course, you schedule those out. Make sure you have them in your planner, on your calendar, everything. The problem with group projects is it's a group project. You have to rely on other people to do their work in order for your work to mean anything. Now, this is a scary concept for a lot of people. Unfortunately, that's just how college goes. A lot of people, especially in your first year, may not continue throughout the semester. In that case, yeah, you gotta pick up the pieces. It sucks. But you gotta make sure that you have planned yourself enough that if someone doesn't do their part, you can pick it up from there. Because there is not a whole bunch of sympathy if one of your members drops out. You just have to do the work in order for the project to be finished. So that's important. Something that'll help you though is speaking to your teachers. So if someone is not doing their part, talk to your teachers. Yes, like maybe you might be considered a snitch, but if they're not doing the work, they don't deserve to get the credit. And that's just the way it is. Make sure you communicate with your group members so that everyone knows where to be at the time. That way you're not forcing anyone to not be able to do their part, but make sure you communicate. Sometimes you're going to be the one that has to coordinate things, and that's okay. Just do it. If you're lucky enough to be able to pick your group members, try and find reliable people, not just your friends. If you have to do multiple projects at the same time, make sure you're prioritizing your time. Make sure that the projects that require you to be somewhere else are taking priority, and the ones where you have to work with other people are taking priority, because you're not always going to be able to find times where everyone is free to do the work, so take advantage of the times that they are. As for work that you do by yourself at home, find the time, like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, a couple hours this day, just find it. What helps is also creating your own deadlines. So you don't have to necessarily say that I need to finish this whole project a week before it's due. No, you schedule your time so that I'm gonna finish this part of this project by this day. And that way, you're giving yourself a little bit more leeway, like it's not as strict as saying, I gotta finish it this day, because that doesn't, at least for me, that doesn't work. I always know that I have more time, and and then I take advantage of like the time that I have left and I don't get things done. But if I find if I separate it, it makes it a little bit more easy to digest, and eventually I'll actually get it done. Leave yourself time to go over your work. It's really helpful, really helpful. If you can leave yourself a couple of days, that'd be great, because once you finish a project, once you finish a project, you don't want to look at it. You're just done with it. So if you leave yourself a couple of days, you still have a few more days where you're rested and you can go back and check it out. I have a few tips for essay writing if you want to hear them, but that will be a different video. I'll call it How to Write an Essay. Sounds so fancy, but I used to have a lot of trouble with essays, and within my college years, I figured it out. I figured out the secret to writing an essay where it wasn't just soul draining. So if you want to hear that, let me know in the comments, and I will put one of those up. So yeah, that's kind of it for this video. I know it's a kind of shorter one, and some of this might be obvious to some people, but you never know. I'm gonna probably put in clips and stuff of my journal or bullet journal, so you can see kind of how I organize my time now. It's not going to be the same as a school organization one because I'm not in school anymore, but at least it'll give you an idea of what my kind of spreads look like. And then again, YouTube is full of stuff about bullet journals and how to organize them, and you can really do with a bullet journal what you want. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know your thoughts and anything, questions and stuff. Leave them in the comments. I'd like to hear from you guys and see what you guys are kind of interested in seeing. Yeah.